Dreamscape presents Not the Witch You Wed by April Asher. Narrated by Zora Johnson. Chapter 1. Son of a witches. When most people envision
So I am like 7% into Not the Witch You Wed. So far it's pretty good. I think it's gonna be a cute, like typical contemporary romance, just with the added element of the like witchiness and supernatural vibes. So this is about Violet, who is a witch. She is one of 3 sisters. They are triplets. And she is the oldest, so technically she should be the one with the most power, with the most magic, and she should kind of be the head of their like coven. But for whatever reason, she does not have magic. It has not manifested itself. So in that aspect, it kind of reminds me of like Encanto, where like the whole family has magic except for the one girl. But Violet is totally fine with that. She's content with her lot in life. She doesn't mind living a normal life in New York City, not having to be the head of like their family, and allowing her sister to take that place. There is also the added aspect of there being shifters. So kind of like a sweet verse type thing where they are human, but they have like wolves like inside them, and there are like mates and like that whole kind of trope going on as well. So you're getting a little bit of everything in this one. So far it's good. I've like seen like having the setting be New York City. Part of it was also set at like a ski lodge. So Violet is attending her sister's mating ceremony, which is basically her sister has mated one of the wolves, or the shifters, and at this party, Violet runs into Luke, I think is the name, Luke or Logan, something with an L, Lucas, I don't remember, something with an L, and it turns out that they are like childhood frenemies, kind of. They were friends. They had like a little bit of a rivalry going when they were kids, but as they got older, they grew closer and became friends, and then they eventually ended up together romantically. And when they were 18, just after high school, they were supposed to run away together. Violet didn't want anything to do with her family. She's not really the outcast. Like, her family loves her and everything, but she is like the odd one out because she doesn't have magic. And Luke, whatever his name is, did not want the responsibility of being the like head alpha for his like pack, and so they were gonna run away together. But it turns out that when Violet was at their meeting location waiting for him, he never showed up. And when she went to go find him, it turns out that instead of running away with her, he had instead like taken on all the responsibility that he needed, and like entrenched himself in the pack life. And so she is betrayed by him, and it's now however many years later, and they haven't spoken in all this time, and so now they're like enemies. They're definitely more enemies in her mind. You can tell that he still has feelings for her and is trying to get back with her. In fact, it seems like actually she might be his mate, and they're actually like fated to be together, but she doesn't know that yet. he can feel it. He kind of talks about his wolf like responding to her and being able to like sense when she comes in the room and stuff. So it seems like she's his mate and she just doesn't know it yet or hasn't accepted it. But also the whole thing about her not having magic, it seems like that's going to change, because every time they come together, every time they touch, all of a sudden her hands are like crackling with magic. So it seems like maybe he's the key to her magic. Being that he's her mate, maybe he kind of unlocks that in her. So far it's good. I think it's going to be cute. Like I said, I like the witchy vibes. The whole supernatural aspect is definitely great for this time of year. The one thing I'm not liking so far is the pacing. It seems to be going really quickly. Like and the locations keep skipping around. And 1 second they're at a party at the ski lodge, and it's like present time, and then all of a sudden she's talking about something that happened years ago that kind of throws off where you just were, and all of a sudden they're back in the city, in New York City, and it's like 2 weeks later. So it's kind of hard to know exactly where you are in the story, or like what the like date is supposed to be, or like what the timeline is, because it keeps jumping around, not just location wise but time wise. So hopefully that'll kind of slow down a bit. The further I get in, maybe it's just kind of a little bit of like the author just kind of trying to rush to get you to the place where they want you to be so that the story can then really take off. I'm not sure, but like I said, so far it's been that part has been a little bit hard to keep track of and has been kind of pulling me out of the story a little bit. I am listening to the audiobook, and I have the ebook as well, so when I'm not at home and can't listen to the audiobook, I can then read the ebook. So hopefully I will finish this one pretty quickly. Yeah, so far so good. Like I said, I'm only like 6% in, so there's definitely still a lot to go. Yep, that is the update for now. I will check back in when I get a little bit further in. Hey, so I have started Arsenic and Adobo, like you saw in my little lunch clip. I am not very far in. I'm only, let's see, 20 pages in. But this book starts and takes right off. So within the first 20 chapters, you meet the main character, Lala, I think is her name, and you meet a lot of the side characters, her family members. She works in her aunt's restaurant back in her like small Midwestern town. They own a Filipino restaurant, and she has a little bit of like contention with her family because she moved away for so long, and according to her family, like abandoned the family and like their desires for her. And so when she came back, they all kind of ostracized her because of it. But now she's back, and she's trying to kind of bring like a more current flair to their food, give it a little bit of a twist, and the family doesn't like that. She's not being traditional. But the book takes off really quickly in that it turns out that so they have two kind of like villains in their world, who are the landlord, who is on them about them missing rent and is threatening to kick them out, and then a food critic who happens to be the landlord's stepson, who keeps giving them negative reviews even though he seemingly loves their food. And in the first few chapters, the food critic ends up dying. He's at their restaurant, he's eating their food, and something happens and he ends up dying. So you're not sure. They do mention that he has diabetes, so I'm not sure if it was like something with his insulin, or if he had some kind of like allergic reaction. They didn't say yet what exactly happened, but he did die in the restaurant. And now the stepdad, the landlord, is accusing them of having killed Derek, his stepson. So based on the title of the book, I'm not sure, like, is she actually killing people? Did she actually kill him? Was it a mistake? Could it have been the stepdad who maybe killed him? I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen, but yeah, this just took right off. So far I'm liking it. I'm liking the family dynamic. I love books with food that are set in like kitchens and restaurants and stuff. I'm excited to get more into it, so I'm going to keep reading, and I will check back in when I have another update. Yeah, so it's a little while later. I'm like 10% into Not the Witch You Wed. I'm listening to the audiobook right now, like I said, while I'm working, and I think I'm going to end up DNFing this, at least the audiobook. I'm going to try the ebook that I have, see if that's any better, but if I don't like it anymore, then I'm just going to go ahead and DNF it. It's still early in the weekend, and I didn't want to DNF any of these books, but I'm just not feeling this. The characters keep making these like witchy, supernatural related like remarks or like slang. Like, instead of saying F this, they say hex this, or like I forget what other ones there are, but they keep making these like I said, like witchy related remarks, or like turning words into some kind of like witchy slang, and it's every time they say it, it's so like corny, and it just pulls me out, and I'm just every time they say it, I like roll my eyes because like it's just so obvious, and it's often. It's not like it's every once in a while. It is like Sarah J. Maas using the word mate often, and actually they do use the word mate pretty often. And now the book is heading towards a like there's going to be a reality TV mating show instead of dating show, and I usually love the like mates thing. I usually love fated mates, like when they're like hate each other but they're forced to be together, when they have like the whole like forced proximity, like reluctant type thing. I love that, but this, it's just not working for me. The idea of I hate reality dating show. So it is Sunday morning now. I didn't get to do much of a update yesterday. I think I filmed maybe a couple of like B-roll clips of me reading, but I didn't get to do like an actual update. So I have read more of Arsenic and Adobo. I am 143 pages in, so about halfway, I think, maybe a little less than halfway. So far it is okay. I think I expected this to be a cozy mystery, and maybe it's not meant to be a cozy mystery. It's definitely a lot more high stakes than what I was expecting. There's a lot more like drama in this than I was expecting. There's a lot of like family dynamics, and now there's like a supposed like drug ring in this small town, and on top of this murder that they're trying to figure out, and there's just a lot of different components, and I wasn't expecting that. And to me, I kind of feel like some of the plot lines and some of the things happening are maybe a little bit too far-fetched. Like just some of the things that people have done, just the actions of the police, the actions of the people in this town, I think it might be a little bit too much. It's a little bit unbelievable, I think. And I don't know if maybe that's kind of pulling me out of it. It's not bad, but I mean, the writing is good. I do like the characters. Every once in a while they'll have like a pop culture reference that kind of throws me off a little bit. I'm not really used to that in books, but it's not bad. I just, like I said, I'm not sure if I really love how kind of outlandish some of the things are. But yeah, so far I think it's on track to be maybe a 3-star, unless the end is like some huge reveal that I absolutely wasn't expecting. That could potentially bump it up, but right now I think it's just a solid 3-star. I think it definitely is good for this time of year. A mystery, a lot of food involved, which I do love. Small town vibes, some friend dynamics, stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm about halfway through. I don't think I'll finish this tonight. The reading vlog will probably go into tomorrow, and I'll be able to finish it tomorrow. Yeah, I think it's tracking so far, like I said, for a solid 3 stars. Then I did end up picking up Not the Witch You Wed on Kindle, and it's definitely better on Kindle. I think maybe some of the like punny like jokes and things that were kind of coming off kind of corny, and I think some of the jokes and like punny things that were coming off corny listening to the audiobook maybe just aren't like hitting as hard, or like I'm not noticing as much reading the Kindle book versus hearing those things. I definitely still like notice it, but it's not bothering me as much. But other than that, I think it's pretty cute. I am liking the dynamic between the two main characters. So now we've gotten to a part where is her name Violet? I don't remember I think the main character name is Violet. She is being forced to enter into a witch bond. So she has to basically marry and enter a bond with another like supernatural person. It's part of their like witch codex, their witch law. And so her and Lincoln, the wolf shifter, are going to enter this like fake dating thing to like placate the like witch council that's forcing her to bond. And I don't love the whole fake dating thing. Like sometimes I think it's done okay and sometimes it's not. I wasn't really feeling it in this book. I think eventually they're gonna come to this whole like reality mating, which I think is kind of stupid, but I do like the like forced proximity, like reluctant friends, reluctant dating aspect. I do like that. I like Violet's dynamic with her sisters, although we haven't seen as much of the sisters as I thought we were going to. And I do like the way her and Lincoln like argue and butt heads and fight against each other and kind of ignore the tension between them. And I like the way Lincoln like is always like subtly and kind of covertly standing up for her. So yeah, all the other aspects I do like. I think eventually it's gonna have some spice, so that's always good. I am liking the witchy vibes other than those like weird like jokes. So yeah, I think this could be a 3-star if the spice ends up being really good, and depending on what happens in the end, could maybe be a 4-star. So yeah, those are the two that I'm focusing on right now. I do still have the XX, which I haven't started yet, but I think I'm gonna end up listening to the audiobook of this. I was able to get the audiobook through Hoopla, so I may end up just listening to the audiobook of this tomorrow while I'm at work. And maybe I'll try to pick up a little bit of it today. I can kind of go back and forth between the audiobook and the physical. I did end up getting the Kindle or the ebook as well, so maybe I can jump back and forth between all three and get it done. I'm hoping to get this one done so I can get 3 books done in this reading vlog, but we'll see how it goes and what we end up doing today. So yeah, that is the update for now. So far on track to have 2 solid 3-star reads, which isn't terrible. I thought I was going to end up DNFing Not the Witchy Wed, so if I can get through it and end up giving 3 stars, that's great. So yeah, that's the update for now. I will check back in with you guys later. I forgot to do my wrap up of everything that I read for my reading vlog, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I did finish Arsenic and Adobo. I ended up giving this 3 stars like I thought. I thought it was okay, honestly. It was a lot more high stakes than what I was expecting. I went into it thinking that it was going to be like a cozy mystery, and it kind of was, like the small town setting was and all of that, but it did have a lot of the cozy mystery aspects, small town, like family group mystery, the main character having to do some like sleuthing and figuring out what was going on and all those things. So it did have those aspects, but it was a lot more high stakes than what I was expecting. And did really like the inclusion of like food and restaurant and the different restaurants and like the different types of restaurants. I did enjoy that aspect of it. I just didn't get really, like I said, like the cozy vibes from it. Like I said, it was okay. Like I said, I thought it was okay. It was good. It wasn't bad. Just not great. And there wasn't really anything about it that put it over into a 4-star for me. Then the next book is Not the Witchy Wed. This was the same. So both of these books were kind of mediocre for me. I did like Not the Witchy Wed a little bit more. I'm thinking maybe cozy mystery, like that type of mystery, just isn't for me. I do typically like romances more, so it makes sense that I would have liked Not the Witchy Wed more. I liked the characters in this. I liked the witchy aspects of it. There was some like medium spice in it that was pretty good, and I ended up liking it. It was decent. The main thing that I didn't like I've said previously, was the like wording and the language used. And I get like people having specific like things they say and things that are just kind of part of their like everyday language, but it became to be too much after a while. So yeah, so that was it. Ended up being a 3-star as well. I did not get to the XX. It took me the weekend to finish both the other books, so I never got to this one. So I'm gonna do a separate reading vlog for this one. I think I'm gonna do like a 24-hour reading vlog, and I'll focus on that one there. But yeah, overall, this was a decent reading weekend. You know, it would have been nice if I had a 5-star read, but both of these were decently good. Definitely put me in the fall Halloween vibes. And yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. Let me know down below if you have read either of these. What did you think of them? Did you like them? What did you rate them? And be on the lookout for that 24-hour reading vlog while I'll be reading the XX. And I will see you guys then.